Hi, I'm Diana Adkins. I'm a Toltec teacher and author, and this is part 4 of my Domestication series. And I titled this one, What Will Happen? As we start to change and create change, as we start to potty train our brains and move forward, we will encounter what I call speed humps. Speed humps, as you know, can be big ones that are pretty jarring, and they can be little ones that are pretty easy to go through. But as we go through learning to change, as we go through taking steps to make a difference in ourselves and in our lives, we will hit walls. And we're going to hit walls inside of ourselves as well as with other people. So our wall, the wall we'll hit inside of us, is essentially fear. It's, they say fear is a mind killer. I'll also say fear is a life killer. Fear has us staying in the comfortable, really boring, mundane status quo of our lives. It has us not taking any chances, not taking any risks. Fear has us terrified of pain. Oh my God, pain. Fear has us terrified of making mistakes. We are going to change. Our mind's going to say, oh no, you can't do that. You know, what if you're rejected? What if you lose love? And what it's not saying is that what's actually happening to us is that we're not loving ourselves and we are rejecting ourselves. So one of the things that happens with fear is something that we call disaster mind. And disaster mind is, in my opinion, mine is insane, but it is a full-blown, over-the-top created scenario that basically normally has no basis in reality at all. It's smoke and mirrors. It's designed to keep us safe and to keep us small as our 5 or 10-year-old defined it. And so when you hit disaster mind, essentially it's like, oh my gosh, if I tell my wife the truth, she's going to walk out and leave me. If I go up and talk to that person, they're not going to like me. If I drop my mask at all, people will see that I'm awful or bad. Disaster mind is a full-blown, over-the-top scenario. And I like Mark Twain for one of his sayings around this. It was, in essence, I have known a lot of troubles, most of which never happened. It's worth repeating. Mark Twain said that he had known many troubles, most of which never happened. That, in my opinion, is speaking to disaster mind. What our minds do to us and all of the scenarios it throws up. So as we start to change, we'll hit fear, and we'll also hit our disaster mind, which will take that fear and blow it up. The second speed hump that we're going to hit is with others. And here's the real twist. We have co-domesticated each other. If you've gotten married in a relationship, excuse me, with who you work with, we domesticate each other. Same process, same story, you know? And so basically, we've married masks, we've married strategies, we've learned how to be and how to act and what's acceptable. And as soon as we change or begin to change, we really do meet or can meet with resistance in other people. You know, it's easier if you stay the same and I stay the same, and then everything will be fine, right? No, not always. And it really can be difficult if one person is beginning to change and the other isn't. One of the things that really helps in this process, helps you through the speed humps, is to be deeply compassionate with yourself, but to be deeply compassionate with the people around you. There are ways to do this that are dramatic, like, okay, that's it, quitting my job, you know, running to Timbuktu, and we're going to go be a monk in a cave somewhere. Those are pretty dramatic. Or we can start by running experiments. And when we start to run experiments, we don't take on the Mount Everest of experiments. One thing about this process is we're all learning here. And so, as such, when we take on an experiment, you need to design it to win. Again, design your experiments to win. You keep them small. You keep them baby steps. You do not do the hardest person in the world. So like if you're trying to learn to be more honest with what you're saying, if your boss isn't open to that kind of thing, you don't take on the boss right off the bat. You take on a shop clerk or a friend of yours, somebody that really likes you a lot. The point is not their reaction. The point is for you to learn to walk through your fear. So when you start to run experiments, again, you try it with strangers. You try it with the people close to you. It really can help if you tell your friends or the people that you're closest to, it's like, hey, I'm going to run an experiment. I keep saying I love Italian food when I can't stand it. Or I keep agreeing to do things that I really don't want to do. And so enlist their help. Just say, I'm trying to live in my integrity and be more honest with myself and the people I really care about. So I've never done this before, and it might be really hard for me, and I'm just asking your support to help me through this. So I'm going to try being more honest, and it may mean that I don't agree with everything. Or we may never eat Italian food again together, or whatever your thing is. So you can bring in people, make them allies, get some help on this path. But understand, you will hit some speed humps. The process of running experiments and bringing in your friends or partners, the people that are easiest to deal with, first to run those experiments with. Because truth is, the hard people, they'll still be there. And when you learn to take off your mask and learn to step into your true integrity, you're learning. You've never done this before. Or you did it 30 years ago with terrible results, so you haven't done it since. And it's really important to understand that. You're learning something you may not have done in a very, very long time. So truly bring the compassion in with yourself and with those close to you who may not understand when suddenly you're, not going to go to the family reunion, or you're growing your hair long, or you're cutting your hair short, or you're, changing in ways that they aren't expecting and have never seen. So I think starting the change with love and with compassion for yourself and others is a really good way to do that. So start your experiments that way. And then keep going. Don't give up. You can change your life. You absolutely can. I've done it. My teachers have done it. My students have done it. And if any of us can do it, you can too. So be kind to yourselves, but do it. What was it Yoda said? No try, do. So no try, do, because you can. And walk through that fear. It's usually smoke and mirrors. It's usually not the truth. But run the experiments and find out. Find out for yourself. I wish you all the best of luck. I truly do. And I'm telling you, you can do this. Thanks.